So just to recap for the video, Randy and I have been working for like an hour now trying to figure out how to bring back a notes report for any note that was tagged to me as a user or to a team that I'm a member of. And we discovered this new end-tag object through API unsupported, as you can see at the top of the screen. And from that the mechanics are when you tag somebody, an end tag is created and it puts in the note that is being tagged, which has a node ID and then is attached to the parent object project in our case, but it could be a tag on a note, on a issue, or on a task or whatever. And the person in this top case, the user ID that's being tagged is filled in, but also because in one fell swoop, maybe go back to your actual original update there, Randy, in Workfront. Yeah, so under updates, you can see that he just typed in blah, 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 and tagged himself and the account test team. So those two tags resulted in two end tag entries in the end tag collection, which we're now staring at in here. And so where we're about to go, I'm going to pause the recording until we get it going, is to try and create an exist statement that will look for any note where the user that got tagged is my user, $$ ID, ideally, or the team that got tagged is in my teams. Okay, so we just noodled out on the left. You have to have capital NTAG. We did that with small originally, and it burned us. But what Randy's doing is saying, go find for this note report for the project that we know we're looking for. Like the last line is just so we only get one row back. Go look in the end tags where there's a node ID for this note. And so there's two because he tagged it with a user and with a a team. And so if you run it, Randy, you can see that we get a row back. So this note has some tagging in it. Okay, submit. And let's add one more while we're at it. Like just add this with no tagging and then say, enter a comment called user only tag and tag your test user.
User only tag, and that would be one dot.
Yep. And then add one more called team only tag.
Yep. Team only tag, and then this would be
the test team.
Admin test account team.
Yep. Submit. Perfect. And now run your report.
Now I should be able to run this again too, right?
Yep, you can. And you'll have like 3 rows, 4 rows, bunch of rows.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, got a bunch more. Okay.
Okay. And then if you run your Workfront report, wherever that went.
Where we go? Here it is.
Now we should have a couple more rows in there. Sweet. But not the you won't see me note.
Yes.
Perfect.
Correct.
Okay.
Now
I'll pause.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got her going. Randy's showing the new tags showing up. So one comment was to a user, one was to a team, one was to both. And the trick was to use the phrase tags because we looked up in the API Explorer, even though it's called end tag under the hood, they've re-aliased it as tags through the API API internal. So he's concatenating either the user's name or the team name, noting it has to be one or the other. So when you run again, just to show it off, noting that right now we're bringing back any, we haven't restricted this yet. We're just saying show all of the tags on the comments that have tags in them, I guess, in this report. So far so good. And now we're going to try and do this so that it will only pull back for our particular user. Okay. Nice. So logging in as our test user on the right, you can see this report only brings back the one where the user was tagged along with the team or by himself. But when Randy runs it on the left-hand window as himself, which was never tagged, he gets no records back. So if you can just show the filter that we changed, please, to point out what we did there.
So this is working. Now we just have to add the exist for team.
Yep. So it's the 4th line there that was the trick to get the user ID. And now we'll go do the team. All right. So we were looking to figure out where teams are. We were under API version 12. Of course, it's only available under API internal. Spoiler alert. And even when we had to explicitly add field equals teams : when we looked for just like fields equals star, nothing about teams came back except for the home team. And that's because teams is what's called a lazy read. So unless you know it's there and ask for it, doesn't come back, which is not cool, but Now you know. So now we'll press on and get the exist or part going that will look for the teams.
Okay, this looks good.
Okay, so as the other user, now you see the one that they were tagged because of their user, the one that they were tagged because of their team, and the one that was tagged on both, but not the one that says you shouldn't see me. And if you go look at it as you see nothing, which is perfect. And then for the big reveal,
Here
finally,
is the filter.
Magic filter.
Like, once this is done, it's not going to have a prompt, right? Because they want to see everything, not just from one project.
You want to see broadly everything you were ever tagged on, right?
Right. Yeah.
So that other sample user that we happen to be looking at has only been tagged the 3 times that we mentioned today.
Right. Exactly. So if we get rid of this prompt,
if we run it as you,
well, even run it as
sure.
Yeah. Well, run it as me because I don't get tagged a whole lot.
Yeah. What you're looking at is everything you were ever, like you've got entry date. Let's sort by that and maybe move that first. So you see the most recent tags first.
Oh, yeah, that's probably a good idea.
And that's just, sort that, descending other way. And you want to move that to the front. And then let's do a grouping too. So entry date, collapse, do that by month, collapse always. And then let's do a second level by project name. Maybe move that second in your list down below.
I must have clicked.
Okay, so nice. And then you'll see at a glance with the summaries how many times you've been tagged. So, you got tagged a lot in September. Surprise, September's over, October's not. And then, this is pretty slick. And then expand one of those babies. And that's who was tagged with you. And this is really awesome. Okay, in my environment, I've done the same thing as Randy's been up to. Set up a tag to my users, set up a tag to a team that I'm on, and set up another one that I, with no tagging on it, just 3 comments on this project, and have the exact same report here. And of course, only see the one to me, the one to my team, and not the other one, which is good. On second thought, I decided to throw a chart on here. So over time, you'll see by month how many times you were tagged, or your team was tagged, which you can then click into, of course, and look at the details and navigate to them as need be. Same examples as from my environment. And also, I've thrown a prompt on here, which you can adjust or remove if you want, but just to illustrate, by default, it'll ask you for an entry date. So if you've been away for 2 weeks, you can go back just for the last 2 weeks and look up that. Or if somebody's like, did you get my tag? You can look for their owner name of the tag, or by project. Hey, I'm trying to catch up on this particular project, get rid of all the rest of the noise, or this particular owner that owns a bunch of projects if you're trying to retrace some steps with them, or go up a level to the program or portfolio as well. And of course, you can leave all those just set to any and run it, and then you'll just get everything back, which is kind of where Randy and I left it. Okay, and for the last part, if you join that App Store, log in, go under the free section here. There's now this icon for AtAppdemo Tags Report, which you can then deploy into your own environment by logging in like that. Hit login, hit test. Then good, let's run it. Confirm you're good with inserting that report into your instance. No charge for this one, and run it. It'll show what it inserted. In this case, a new report called this, which I'll go look up in that environment now. So in that environment, I've filtered down to that report. And if we flip over to it, you can see it's got the prompts that I added last in the chart and so forth. So you can tailor to suit, share with those who need it, and enjoy.